Hi, I'm Leroy and this is Around My House, and in this video I'm going to be installing a new attic ladder. So my existing attic ladder was installed like 40 years ago by my grandfather. Honestly, it's always scared me a bit, and I'll show you why in a bit. But first, the new one. So I got the Werner Energy Seal version. This comes in two versions. You have the Energy Seal, which costs a bit more. It's $1.99, and then the regular is $1.69, both at Home Depot. So this claims 60% reduction in air leakage. In my case, it's probably 1,000% increase in reduction in air leakage. And it comes with some insulation on the bottom side, as shown there, that gives you 5x more energy efficient than the regular version. So for 30 extra bucks, I figured I might as well go for the best. Now this is a little smaller than my existing one, so I'm going to have to build some framing, and I got some 2x6s to do that with. And before we get started, I want to show you my existing one. Alright, so here's my existing attic ladder. You can see the big gap there. And those gaps along the side. And actually, once I get up there, you can see those gaps in the framing. There's gaps everywhere. I'm going to use a crowbar. Okay. Well, doesn't that look all nice? Okay, so we're going to come up here. Okay, and as you can see, there's gaps there too. So, so the new one is going to be a bit smaller. I think it's actually going to be close to 10 inches more this way, and about 8 inches, I think, narrower. Here's these ancient stairs, and so let's get started. So originally I was thinking of dropping this thing in one piece, but I think what we're going to do really is just disconnect these springs on each side, and then right here we can tie the stairs off and lower it on a rope. That's one way of doing it.
Somewhere around here should be about.
Yeah, that's good.
Should be about center of the weight.
Yeah. So, that's good. Okay.
Out of the way.
Alrighty, so we got this down. Alright, so we got the whole thing out now. So now we're looking at how to redo this, and we're going to end up having to redo part of the ceiling too. Alright, so we got the framing. So let's go up here and look at it from the top. So we went in and put some 2x6 and framed it because the other one was bigger, like I previously mentioned. And it's also, the new one's also narrower, so we brought it in. So once we lay this thing in, we're going to go ahead and do some new drywall. Alright, so we took the plastic off and measured it just to make sure. So they say 22.5. It's actually about 22, so that gives you a little wiggle room, and also in the lengthwise too. Alright, so as suggested, we put some helper on each end, and so now we're about ready to lift it up in there. Yeah. There we go. Our first opening. Let me move the ladder out of the way. Alright. There we go. Okay. So, okay, so one of the things we're going to end up needing to do is trim this a bit. So we cut the ladder so that it would fit, and we measured it 2 ways. The first way was kind of just flying by the seat of our pants, and we got one number, and we used their table, which they had, and we got another number. We cut it to our first number, was a little long. But it seemed like their number was going to be a little short, so we kind of divided the difference of the next cut, and here the legs are. They'll just drill some holes and bolt those in. Alright, so we're all done, so it's time for a review. So let's just pull this down. So here's the ladder unfolds. You got a lock here. And it folds right up. So you notice you got a latch there that just does that. Holds it in place. You just put them right on up. And then the great thing is, you just lift it up and it just goes right up and seals. So here it is from the top. We put in 2x6s, bolted it in place and sealed it up. So the only issue we had in installing was when we went to bolt this in, the screws they gave us, when we hit the really old hardwood between, or on the other side of the 2x6, the tops sheared off. So we sheared 2 of them off and then gave up and used regular decking screws. So the decking screws went in just fine. So that's really the only issue. We then used the decking screws in the other locations. So you'll notice here that since we got the efficiency version, you have the rubber there to seal things up, and it does a fairly good job sealing up. So what we'll do here is do a light test. So we have the light on up in the attic. So if we turn the lights off here, if there's any light showing, it would be an indication that we might have air leak. So as you can see, there's a real slight light at the end here, but none anyplace else. So that's a pretty darn good seal. Alright, so that's my ladder install. We'll see you next time, and like my videos. Thanks.